Hello students, I hope to find all of you in good health. Stay at home, stay safe. Our destiny depends upon our desire. If we are strong, then we can fight back. Today I am over here to deliver an online teaching on the second chapter from Beehive. The name of the poem is The Road Not Taken, composed by Robert Frost. So before giving a vivid description of the poem, let's go through the poet and a short summary of the poem so that you can get an idea what is the poem related to. The Road Not Taken is a well-known poem by Robert Frost, published in 1916 as the first poem in the collection of Mountain Interval. Robert Lee Frost is the full name of our poet. His work was published in England before it was published in America. He is known for his realistic depiction of rural life and his command of American colloquial speech. The essential element of Frost's style is his choice of the word of diction. He uses everyday simple words we use during our conversation. One of the famous quotes from Frost are as such: poetry is a very rural, rustic. Poetry is more often of the country than of the city. He is highly regarded for his deep understanding of human nature, leading to brilliant dramatic monologues and dramatic scene in the poetry. But most importantly, it always has a personal appeal, a public appeal to us. One of the famous poems of Robert Frost is Mending Wall, or we can name some others like Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. You can go through all these poems and you will be enjoying them a lot. Before going through any other poem, let's come to our syllabus. The Road Not Taken is our poem. The Road Not Taken is a narrative poem. It reads naturally. The Road Not Taken is a narrative poem. It reads naturally and begins as a photographic depiction of a quiet moment in wood. It consists of 4 stanzas with 5 lines each, and we will get to see that if you see in the book, we will get to see that the first line is rhyming with the third one, and the second line is rhyming with the fifth one. And so the rhyming scheme goes as such: A, B, A, A, B. This we will get through again elaborately after the class. This poem tells a lot about life in general. Life is all about making choice, whether it's about choosing to change your daily diet or whether it's choosing your job, everything which is important in our daily life. Most importantly, this poem makes me think wisely about my choice. The Road Not Taken is an ambiguous poem that allows the reader to think about the different choices in life, whether to go with the mainstream or to go it all alone. If life is a journey, this poem highlights those times in life where a decision has to be made for our coming future, and it's very important for all of us. Okay students, now I will move into the line-to-line explanation of the poem The Road Not Taken. Here goes the first stanza. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So this goes our first stanza. And what does the poet want to mean through these lines? The poet describes his position. He has been out for walking in the woods and comes in between the diversion of the 2 roads. He comes and stands over here, looks as far as he can see. He would like to try out he would like to try out both, but doubts whether he could do that or not. But so, therefore, he continues to look to the road for a long time, keeps on pondering, and makes a decision about which road he would take finally. Then comes the second stanza. Let's see what the poet has proceeded with. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. So through this second stanza, the poet selects the road that appears at first glance to be less worn and therefore less travelled. This selection suggests that he has an independent spirit in him and does not follow the others and does not wish to follow whatever everybody is doing. After a moment, he concludes that both the roads are equally the same, which is in stark contrast to the decision which we had seen in the prior lines. Let's see what he says again in the third stanza. And both that equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Through this third stanza, the poet wants to say that the leaves cover up both the roads equally. No one at this morning has yet taken either decision to take the road he had previously selected, saying that he will save the other road for some another day. He observes, however, that he probably will never pass this way again and thus will be never able to get an opportunity to explore it, as he has pointed through this particular line, you see. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Now comes the last stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So through this last stanza, the poet wants to reveal in years to come, the poet says he will be telling others about the choice he has made. While doing so, he will sigh either with relief that he has taken a right decision, or he might be doing it out of regret that was not at all a good decision of his. The choice will obviously have an impact on his life. That depends in the coming future. So this is how we are ending up with the 4 stanzas of Robert Frost, and now I will be going through the significance of the title. The road is the symbol of the choice made by us in life. Many a times we regret the choice we make, but what is done once is done. Man regrets for what he has denied himself in life rather than what he has chosen himself for. This we have seen, and this you can also experience in your daily life. Hence the poet says, or hence the poet titles the poem as The Road Not Taken. The word road not only means way, it also means a journey or a stage in a journey. Here, road does not signify any ordinary road, but functions as a metaphor of a vital decision of a life. Okay, as we have finished up with the explanations of the 4 stanzas of the poem, now we will, and we have also gone through the significance of the title, now we will go through the different types of the figures of speech which are being used in the poem. Before going through it, let's have a recapitulation of the different figures of speech which are exactly being used in the poem. Let's see how much you remember. First and the foremost figure of speech which is being used over here is the personification, What is personification? Personification is an attribute of a personal nature. Here we will see that the fork in which the wood refers to in life decision has to be done. That is the personification over here. Then we are coming to the metaphor. The whole poem is an extended metaphor. What is metaphor? Metaphor is a phrase which is applied to an object to which it is not at all literally applicable. Now the road is compared to the two choices of life. Two roads is compared to the two choices in our life. Poet compares himself with a traveler. Undergrowth at the end of one of the roads refers to the different obstacles and the hindrances in the life. Again, we are getting through the grass on one of the roads, which means that too many people have chosen that particular road. Not too many people have chosen, rather. So these are the different metaphors which are being applied by Robert Frost. Now coming to alliteration. What is alliteration? It's a very common thing. The different repetition of the consonant sounds. So the L sound has been repeated. For example, lay in lives, okay, that you get in the first stanza. Again, wanted where. The sound emphasizes the smoothness of the fallen leaves. Then we are having this symbolism. Here we are getting the symbol of yellow color, which is representation of the light, of hope and of promise in life. Then it also refers to the future, which needs to be bright. And the wood. For first and foremost, the very important symbol, which is the wood, which refers to the quiet, deserted place and a place alone where a person can take a decision, or where the person is totally being put forward to welcome whatever comes forward to him. Okay, so this is how the different figures of speech are being portrayed by Robert Frost through his poem. So now I hope all of you could make it very clear through this explanation. I hope to meet you soon with the next lesson. Till then, stay safe, stay at home with a pledge to fight back with all the adversities which are coming in our life right now. Thank you. Bye bye.